Brought to you by RE/MAX Diamond Realty.
In a previous episode, we were talking with Liz and Gina from RE/MAX Diamond Realty Guam about what to do when you have land and want to build a home. The ladies are back, and I, for one, am really excited about this because I got a million questions. So you guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right, lightning round time. Okay, so Liz, let's start with you. If someone comes to you and they've got an idea and say, hey, I have some land, but I want to build a house, do you recommend as professional realtors, do you say, even if it's only me by myself, should I build a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom house, or should I start small and then later on, as the years go by, extend and increase the value? Is it better to start big even if I don't need it, or start small and then add?
Well, first of all, I would ask, what is your budget? And if you had a specific budget, that would, I don't recommend, I mean, if it's just you and your budget is small, then of course you don't have a choice. You have to go small. But if you have a good sized budget that would accommodate a 3-bedroom home, remember, a lot of families here, they start out small and then they realize the house is too small. They've got 2-3 kids, they've got to expand. And the old way of doing it is they would keep doing extensions. Mm-hmm. So let's say later you decide you want to sell it. It's difficult to sell if they didn't think the process through. And if your flow in your home is all cut up a different way, it's hard to sell that to a younger buyer who's looking for a modern design.
Then if it's obvious, if you
It's
just tacked
so
on
obvious,
all the other
yes,
rooms
yes.
incrementally.
Now, if it
Like
was
modular homes.
yes,
Exactly.
and so if it was done tastefully and there was an architect maybe helping them, guiding them through the process, then of course that wouldn't be so bad. But if you have the budget and eventually your family's going to grow, we'd ask you those specific questions. Are you getting married? Are you planning on having children? And if you are and you have the budget, go for it, because it just gives you value.
And this is interesting, Gina, I find, because like a lot of people would say, like when it comes to car buying and everything like that, you probably want to be a little bit more practical. Some people say if you can afford a Tesla, get a Tesla, but you know.
You know, your budget is going to dictate what you're able to do. Whether you've saved up to build or you're going to go to the bank and get it financed, it really boils down to how much you're able or willing to spend. Some people have a bigger budget based on what they could borrow, but they don't want to make that monthly payment. You know, if you borrow $300,000, you're going to pay X per month, right? Some people have come and said, well, you know, we could borrow $300, but I looked at the monthly payment and I'm not comfortable with that. So I tell them, well, since you're building and you can control how much you're going to spend to a degree, right? You can control how much you borrow, then figure out what you're willing to spend on a monthly basis, and that's what you borrow. So now you've got your budget. So once you have your budget in mind, you minus out what the utilities are going to cost you, right? Because we talked about that in the first episode. Minus out your utilities because the contractor doesn't pay for that. So once you've got that, you know, now you know how much you're going to spend. You've already decided your budget's X amount. You've already taken out the utilities. Now the balance is what you could spend to build. And then you have to ask yourself, well, I do everything backwards when it comes to construction. Are you going to pay for the appliances and the air conditioning yourself? Or are you going to take that out of this budget too?
So with respect to the future value of my theoretical home, does it have any bearing on, you know, whether I started out with a 4-bedroom, again, 4-bedroom, 3-bath home that may depreciate 20 years from now, or as opposed to me having a small home when I first started out, but then I actually added on, you know, a couple rooms, I built an outside kitchen, I built a den or a rec room and everything like that, but even if it had proper flow.
Well, if you had, let's say you had
Because I'm thinking, what can I get in the future?
So in the future, your square footage would dictate your value. So the more square footage, of course, your value would be on the higher side.
If the market,
It depends on the market, because the market is cyclic. It goes up and it goes down. But again, it's based on your square footage. So if an appraiser came in and they looked at your home, the value would be based on the size, what amenities are there, the location. It's always about location. So you have a little fudge factor in terms of your value if it's on Marine Drive. So, you know, again, but your square footage is key.
How about age? Say like, you know, I had a big house, multiple rooms, multiple bathrooms, maybe a pool, and I got it that way 20 years ago. I built it. Now we're in, 2036, the year 2036 and everything like that. And I've got the same exact structure. Would age have any impact?
You know, age has an impact, but if you've maintained your home,
Yes.
okay, and you've kept it in good condition and it looks new. Because that's the beauty of real estate. You keep it painted, you keep everything modernized, you keep, things aren't falling apart. Every time something falls apart, it starts to deteriorate. You're fixing it up. If you keep your home like that, the effective age of the home is how well it shows today.
Take care of your house and your house takes care of you.
That's right.
If you
It's
take
an
care of the home,
asset.
they refer to it as effective age.
Yeah.
So if it's built 20 years ago, but if you walked into it and it still looks fairly new because it was maintained regularly, then your value would still be intact. Now, we tell some people they buy their homes and then they don't maintain it. And then over time it starts to go downhill and then they wonder why the value drops. So condition is also a factor.
Because when you had rats and you didn't pay attention to it and they started
termites.
and they started chewing through the
Termites.
A-frame. And
That's right.
Yeah.
Maintenance in
Maintenance
general.
is
Yeah.
key.
And you're talking about equity buildup, but the thing is, real estate, it fluctuates with the market. You could pay $250,000 today for a house to build that house, and 10 years from now, it's worth $200,000. It's not guaranteed that the real estate's going to go up. It could go up, it could go down.
Well, for the amount of money that you're spending on your house, you certainly want to take care of it.
Yes, for
Absolutely.
sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week. Wow, perfect. In sync, and they definitely are in sync, and they want to help you, Liz and Gina, do as well as their colleagues at RE/MAX Diamond Realty Guam with your real estate questions. So give them a call. We're back after this.